Hi, I'm Bleddyn and I have an offer to study engineering at Bleddyn College, Oxford. I'm going to talk about writing your personal statement and preparing for the interview, starting with your personal statement and ideas of what to put in it. This summer is extremely valuable for building your personal statement. Even if you feel you currently have very little to write about, it is more than enough time to go into real depth on 2 or 3 of your activities, alongside your admission test preparation. There are all kinds of things you can include, but I find it particularly helpful to focus on independent research, choosing a few areas within your field that genuinely interest you and exploring them in depth. One of the most valuable ways I found to add real depth to your application is to carry out small, self-motivated research projects. This doesn't need to be groundbreaking, it just needs to show that you can independently pursue an academic question in a structured way. Some examples could include conducting a literature review on a specialised topic you found interesting, writing an article or a research paper summarising your findings, giving a presentation, e.g. to Sykes Pharma, or for engineering students, you could design and build a simple physical project or perform an experiment. You can also try and use your work experience to do a real project with a clear outcome. What matters most is the approach, starting with a genuine question, researching it systematically, and producing an output that demonstrates both your curiosity and your analytical skills. Throughout, the key is depth over breadth. It's not enough to say what you did. You need to critically reflect on the difficulties you faced, the questions you had, how you dealt with them, and how the experience shaped your thinking. Constantly ask yourself, so what? What did I learn? What new questions did it raise? And what did I explore as a result? Your personal statement should not just be a collection of achievements. It should tell a story of why you pursued certain interests and how they're connected. There are 2 major mistakes to avoid I can think of. Firstly, writing a list with no reflection. The admission tutors are not interested in a catalogue of what you've done. They want critical insight into how those experiences have shaped your thinking. Second, over-exaggerating your achievements. If you inflate what you did and they realise during the interview, it's far worse than simply being honest, and it could undermine your credibility. Preparing for interviews. Certain skills and topics come up again and again in STEM interviews. Graph sketching of unfamiliar graphs and estimation questions are very common, so practice these well. 2 resources I found extremely useful were the I Want to Study Engineering website produced by Cambridge and Professor Povey's Perplexing Problems book. Both offer practice questions that closely match the style of real interviews. Often, the first question in the interview is drawn directly from your personal statement. It's meant to be an accessible starting point, so it's not a good sign if you can't answer it well. You must be prepared to discuss everything you mention, no matter how small. In my case, both interviewers picked up on minor points about my work experience and asked detailed technical questions about them. Expect this and prepare for it carefully. Most importantly, you must be comfortable thinking aloud and working through uncertainty. The interviewers will deliberately push you into areas you do not immediately know how to solve. You need to vocalise your reasoning clearly. There is no difference to the interviewer between someone who has no idea and someone who has thought through and rejected 3 ideas silently. And if something's unclear, do not hesitate to ask the interviewer for clarification. They would much rather you checked than wandered off track. On the day, the most common mistake is refusing to adapt. If the interviewer hints that you should change your approach or rethink something, listen carefully and adjust immediately. Even if you believe your method might work, trust their guidance. They're trying to lead you to the kind of reasoning they want to see. After the interview or admission test, you don't want to feel like you could have done more or prepared better. So use that as motivation now to continue working hard and hustling during this period. But once it's done, try to mentally move on, as the interviewers often feel worse than they actually were. Finally, make sure to reach out for help throughout the process, whether from past students, teachers, or elder mentors, as this was by far the most valuable part of my own journey. I found that people are almost always willing to help if you ask, and their insights made a real difference.